Hi, Firestarter here, and this is a review of the PlayArtSky Metal Gear Solid 2 Solidus Snake. And this box is really huge, and I couldn't even manage to put everything on the frame. So let's move on to the review, because really now, you won't be interested on the box, you will be interested more on what he has inside. In my point of view, Square Enix has done a great job in recreating the exoskeleton that Solidus wore and the same artificial muscle technology initially developed for Metal Gear Raid. The paint applications on this figure is really commendable, but it is those warning labels on the exoskeleton sets this apart from other figures of this scale. The first line of the accessories are the two extra pairs of holding hands, primarily to hold two kinds of weapons. Hand replacement is actually a smooth process to work with thanks to the very smooth wrist pegs. Square Enix didn't give us just only one, but two identical P90 submachine guns. Although the paint applications on these guns look flat, but it makes up with highly detailed curves and corners that you can see on actual guns. Although he has proficiency in firearms, his preferred weapon are blades. With this, he is using a daisho, which is a Katana and Wakazashi set, also called the Minshuto or Democrat, and Kyowato or Republican blades. But the blade set is not complete without the scabbards that are easily pegged on the left side of his waist. And these swords slide smoothly in the scabbards when not in use. And before we go on to the main part of this review, people would ask me what's the scale or how big is this guy. I'm really lazy to get one of my figures, so I would compare him with a Lego, so you know how big this guy is compared to a Lego. So let's go through the articulation points for this figure. We have a nice shoulder joint here. You can even turn this one 360 if you can. And we have a upper bicep swivel, and then elbow joint, ratchety elbow joint. So as the arms or the wrists, you can turn that 360. Upper torso, which is kind of nice, something I couldn't do it with some of my PlayArtSky figures. And he also has a really soft waist joint and hip joints too, and then double knee, and you can go all the way to the back. And we have a nice pivot point also on the foot, and also a side-to-side motion on, or at least near the toe. So those are the articulation points for this figure. This one can easily pop out. I don't know why, but it's really easy. I mean, look at my fingers. That voila. But even though with that issue, it's a minor nitpick, but if you turn the figure around, doesn't matter anyway, doesn't fall off. And then just gonna show you this color over here, this front or the mouth guard. You can easily take this one out and put the head back in, so you would see more detail on the neck. Let me just close in and show more light. Here's the neck design here. Now the main reason why you are getting this figure is because of the tentacles or the snake arms, as mentioned on the game. So how you put this on, you need to take out the chest armor here, and it shows the peg and the slot system, and then latch this one just in front, and you have here the tentacles already latched on the figure. And just to take a closer look on the tentacles, I thought at first these claws here open and close or retracts, but it's molded. There are two versions of this. The right arm is open, and then the other one is slightly closed. So there's a difference. At least there is more ways to play with the arms, and each arm has about 6 segments. This one, you can move this one all the way to the back, but it's quite tight, so I couldn't really force the arms to go at the back, just like what you see on most of the photo releases. And each has its own sort of a ball joint. You can move these, and it has this ratchet feel also, just like the legs. And then you can swivel each arm up and around and side to side too. And also one thing to note, as you can see here, we have some cuts here. It's really visible. I think these are like two halves of the head, and then they just glued in together, and that's how they form the head. And with that, the difficult thing with the arms on, it's the stability for the legs. It's really hard to manage posing him in different ways, especially if you want to spread the legs out to give more depth to the posabilities for this figure. But if you can manage to balance the legs just like this, voila, then you are looking at a really great looking replica of Solidus Snake in the form of play arts. And this is how Square Enix finished 2012 with the release of Solidus Snake in the Play Arts Skyline. The aesthetics for this figure is really astounding. But throughout the course of the review, the only issue that I had is trying to keep balance with the tentacles on when the figure has a slightly wobbly hip joint. This time, I won't even mention the price point for this figure because it is already justified for how many hands or accessories that this figure has, especially the details and the craftsmanship from the guys at Play Arts Sky. As long as you can afford one, I would highly recommend this figure for all MGS fans in line of its 25th anniversary. And that is my review of the Play Arts Sky Solidus Snake. If you want to know the possibilities for this figure, always check out the photos at the end of the video and subscribe to my blogspot for the full written review. This is Firestarter. Thank you very much for watching and see you on my next review.